Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Tuesday. It's September 2nd. It's about 9:30 in the morning. Hope you all had a really good and safe Labor Day weekend. We sure did over here. We took, yesterday we didn't intend to take off, but ended up taking it off. A bunch of things happened and, you know, nothing terrible, but, you know, it is what it is. So we're back now on our 58 Apache you see right here. So what you're gonna see today is two different things, okay? One, a lot of grinding, okay? And two, you're gonna see Ron doing a lot of skimming, okay? A lot of Duraglass, all metal, that kind of thing going on the areas that I grind. So Big Ron right now is out running around with my mom. I have to go run around this afternoon, so we're gonna do this in phases. I'm gonna get everything prepped for him, and then he's gonna come back and do his, do his thing. So let me show you what we're gonna do here. So, we're gonna focus fire right up in here. So, as you can see, right in these areas, some of this has to be sanded down still, but it looked like this here, okay? Where we had welded, this is the new floor to the old floor, right? Where it comes together. So, what we are doing is we're gonna grind this down, okay? Quite a big splotch, you know, something like that, all the way around it. And then basically roughing it up with a 36 grit die grinder right angle pad, and getting that prepped for him. Anywhere where we welded the floors in, any patch panels, areas like that. So we'll be coming across here, we'll be coming across there, down in that area there, down in here, you know, all of this will be dialing in. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is basically just prepping these areas so that Ron can just come right through here and start his all metal, Duraglass, whatever he's going to do. And we don't really have to worry about it, right? Popping off. Because we want to rough it up with 36 because we want it to be rough. We don't want to just put body filler over the epoxy. We want to get it down, back down to bare metal in those spots, rough it up, and then put the all metal and then body filler if needed in those spots, because roughing it up will make it stick. It'll make it not pop, right? Where it really enhances your chances of, or decreases your chances of it popping. So I'll be doing those areas. I'll also be coming through here, these areas here, cleaning all these up. And then I'm gonna get into the door jamb. So basically from the top here all the way down. I'm also gonna do in here, we're gonna clean this up, right up in there, up into there. We'll get all this looking pretty so he can skim it. He's already got a little bit on there, but we'll take it back down. And then stuff like this, you know, where we welded in the patch panels all over the place and spot welds and all the things. Cab corners, I mean, most everything on the low level of this has been replaced, the whole bottom of the truck basically. So there's work to be done, but I'm going to get all this prepped so that he can come in here and do his thing. Now, if all goes well, this shouldn't probably take that long to do what I'm going to be doing. Ron's portion of this will take substantially longer, but I'm going to get it ready. But I think I'm also going to try and get this door ready. You can see my line here with my finger here. I'm going to come down with that 36 to about here. I'm going to come up to about here so he can do a nice skim here, because we have to blend this into this. You know, it's just what it is. And to do that, we need to have that roughed up to be able to do an area where we can actually blend this thing in. So that'll happen. As you guys saw, we got the doors completely disassembled, both doors, so they're ready. A lot of work can happen on these doors as well. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit. We got holes to weld up all over the place on the door. I gotta take it at the right angle to these areas and clean that up before we do anything. That kind of stuff. Also, I drug out my one good step, and it's pretty good. I think it'll be okay. Now the underneath, thank God, most of the nasty stuff you see is undercoating and it'll scrape right off. So that actually protected this thing on the bottom. So this step actually goes right there. Now I was hoping that this part of the step would actually cover some of this rot, but it doesn't. It comes below it. So it comes up and fills this gap here and then under. So probably gonna get a new fender. I don't want to just put junk on it, but at least this one's on here and it gives me an opportunity to get my sizing and this, that, and the other for the bed. So there's that. But this one I have to take down to bare metal at some point, and I'll probably use the Bower on some of it and then a right angle. But that's another piece we can epoxy when we do the doors, right? So later this week. So lots of stuff happening. This will get used on the truck. This is a forever piece. We'll reuse this. There's nothing wrong with it, really. Just some surface rust, nothing terrible. And but the other side is just rotted off. It's terrible. So the other step was completely rotted off here. So not much I can do about that. But again, this is like $135 for one of these. So if I use this one, I save $135. That's a win. So that's what we're gonna do. Those kind of things add up at the end when you look at it and go, how much money could I really have spent on this if I bought a whole new bed and all new fenders and all new this and this and this and this and this and new doors instead of putting all this on here? Well, that number becomes substantially higher than what you actually spent. We figured that out on the Volkswagen thing. It was just like, try to use what you have, but you know, if it's terrible, you know, because we want this to be a really nice truck. That's the idea here. And at some point, you know, what you have might not be as nice as it could be if you just replaced it. You know, you're never going to get it to where you don't have the tools and equipment to actually take this fender to where it should be, right? Not that we don't have the talent, skill, and knowledge, but we don't have the tools here to do it. So, and it would cost substantially more to buy the tools than it would be to just buy a fender, right? And we don't do it enough to justify the tools. So, at the moment, so you know, more than you probably wanted to know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to jump on this right angle here and get in here and just start going to town on this. And I will set up the camera right here. This will kind of be your view here, so you can actually see me. And we'll just go. We'll just start going and see where we get. See you guys in a minute. everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod Custom. It's been a long day. A lot got done bodywork wise on the 58. So let me show you this. As you guys saw earlier in the video, you saw me grinding down all the spots on the firewall. This is the result of that. This is where we went with that. So all metal body filler. The green is Duraglass or Fibrolite, which is the same as Duraglass basically. And he started coming around here, down in here, just started dialing this in. So it's coming together. We still got another probably day on the firewall to really dial it in, but it's starting to come together. He's gotten a couple skims on things and getting it zoned in. So really happy with that. Tomorrow morning I'm going to come out here and continue with the grinder, the little right angle here, this guy, with a little pad like that, 36 grit, and I'm going to continue this all the way down to here, and then I'm going to hit this across here, clean this up. I'm going to get up into here, and just start cleaning that up. These areas here where you can see where we got weld, I need to grind that better and get all that cleaned up and ready for them. Same over here. And I need to hit this edge in here, so we can get that skim with all metal and dial that in. So ton of work to do, but you know, we're getting somewhere. So that way tomorrow Ron can continue doing what he's doing here, but also expanding into some of these areas, because there's drying times as well, right? You put it on, you gotta wait, sand it, put it on, wait. I mean, it is what it is. But it's not terrible, but still be nice to get this, you know, as dialed in as we can get it over the next few days, and really just get somewhere. Something else you guys saw was us grinding right here. There was a clutch pedal, I say clutch pedal, it's like a clutch linkage bracket deal that was right here. And it was just right in the way. Every time we tried to move, we'd hit it and cut our arms and everything else. It was just miserable. So we ground off the heads of the bolts here and removed that bracket from the frame. So technically that's the first bracket removed from the frame, so that's kind of exciting. One less we got to do. But, you know, just one more thing, right? One step closer. Everything we do is a step closer to being where we want to be. So really happy with that. Really happy with where this is going. You know, I wish I had more to show you guys, but really there's a ton of work right there. Big Ron has just been straight up killing it. I've got hours. I probably got 2 hours in grinding all this stuff down, maybe 3. Getting it ready so that he could skim it. And then, you know, you gotta sand it all and do it again and so on and so forth until it's right. But most of these were pretty close. Actually hitting them with the, I hit them with the big grinder months ago. And what I'm talking about here, so this makes sense. All of these spots that you see were holes in the firewall. There was like 60 holes in the firewall that weren't going to be used. So they had to be welded up, right? Or you got all of these holes where things and heat and everything else and gas and all the stuff can get into the cab. We don't want any of that. So we welded all these up, but this was the culmination of welding it up, grinding it down again today with the right angle. Really kind of leveled everything out. And just kind of starting to come into a world here. Now, realistically, this weekend it would be nice to prime the door jambs, the firewall, spot the back of the cab, hit the inside of the cab here, you know, these areas that we've been hitting, and really start getting something to where we can start blocking and making things straight, as opposed to just fixing dents and imperfections and welds and all of that. So there's layers to bodywork. This is the first initial layer. Next up is make it straight, like straight as an arrow straight, and that's that takes some time. So really happy with it. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday night. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. We'll be right back out here tomorrow doing more body work. And tomorrow I am also going to try to get to that door there and get that cleaned up and ready so we can start skimming the door and finish welding up whatever we got to weld up on this and get this to where we can get this epoxy primed. Hopefully this weekend. I want to prime that fender, these two doors, this step. Got a bunch of stuff I want to prime. And don't forget Thursday morning, I'm going to order from either Performance Online, POL, or Western Chassis, the brake pedal assembly that mounts under the dash here. Mounts right here, actually right there. I think that bracket comes out and then the new one goes in, and then we have to drill a hole through the firewall for the brake pedal push rod, and then there's 4 holes you got to drill to bolt on the booster. And we'll get the chrome power booster, 8-inch power booster with the dual master cylinder in chrome, with the proportioning valve, with all the things set up for disc. So that's going to happen this Thursday. So hopefully the following week it'll be here and we can install that, and that'll be really fun. And hopefully by then we've got all this dialed in here pretty much, and it's a beautiful primed firewall that's slick as snot, and we're just dealing with this, right? And that'll be fun. And understand, we're going to install it, we're going to video it, take some photos and stuff, and then we're going to take it right back off. Because what we truly need is the hole in the firewall. The 5 holes, the 4 holes to mount it, and the hole that's probably about this size for the push rod. That's what we really need. I don't want to leave that on there to get destroyed. So we'll take that right back off once we get it installed, and put it back in the box and put it away so it doesn't get destroyed. But it's a huge piece of the puzzle to be here, to be installed, to have everything, you know, where it needs to be. It's a big deal for this cab. So that's coming. Hope you guys are having a great night. I'm gonna get off of here and go inside and lay down. I'm exhausted. It's been a long damn day. But really appreciate you all watching. Everybody that's new to the channel, really appreciate you guys supporting us. And we're going to keep on keeping on over here. And hopefully we'll just keep bringing you really good content that you guys like. And we'll just keep on moving down the road here, guys. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. And we will see you guys in the morning.